So this is what I'm assuming is going to happen. In the future, there's going to be somebody on the right who has an old tweet that is uncovered, and maybe they'll suffer some shit for it or whatever. And a lot of people that like the centrist type, left-leaning people, they're gonna be like, see, we told you that you shouldn't have come out against, James Gunn and Michael Ian Black and Dan Harmon. See, we told you there was gonna be a backlash. But what a lot of these fools do not understand is that this was going to happen anyways, and it has already been happening for years. we the media is on the side of leftists. It has been for years and years and years. So who do you think has been doing this for the past 20, 30 years? Right? Who do you think has been uncovering these things and, smearing conservatives and people on the right? It's been the media. It's been the left. They go up, they look at something. Oh, 20 years ago, he said the N-word. 20 years ago, he said women shouldn't work in this. And then the media, tells everybody about it, and then they lose their job. They have to step down. And this has been a recurring theme for years and years. And now all of a sudden, an old tweet that has resurfaced on social media is, oh, you guys shouldn't play by their rules, shouldn't play by their game, don't play by their tactics. Not good, because it's going to be happening back to you. It's like, what? Are you insane? No, it's been happening, and us showing some tweets on social media is not bad. It's not sinking to their level, right? Now, all the outrage mob coming from the right, the outrage mob is not going to do anything. Okay, first of all, because Hollywood, the media, does not pay attention to conservatives. They don't give two shits. If they did, you would see a lot more movies pandering to them. But do you? No, you don't. You see a lot of TV movies have like a leftist type message in them usually. So, to assume that Mike Cernovich and all these people had really a big hand in getting these people fired just seems kind of foolish to me as well, because it's like, they were making some pretty disgusting pedophile jokes. The Dan Harmon guy, the creator of, what do you call it? Rick and Morty. He was doing a skit where he was fucking a realistic baby doll, and he was completely naked pretty much, pretending to hump it and shit. Whatever your humor is, that's pretty fucked up. It's pretty gross, and most people within any era that was released and revealed and spread around, that person would be fired for. Right? But the only time it does get spread around is when it's somebody that involves the conservatives, and that's when, the media had control of the narrative. But now, because of social media, you can show some things that these leftists have said, and you can spread it around, which is a good thing, because it's going to keep happening to people on the right, whether you like it or not. And this is why we keep losing ground. This is why we keep moving further left. They keep getting into institutions. We keep taking the higher road, and then they keep stabbing us in the fucking back. And that's just the way it's been going the entire time. And I'm not advocating doing stuff like them. I'm not saying be super discriminatory and all this shit and do underhanded tactics. But revealing old tweets and messages is not an underhanded tactic. It's not. It's just revealing what somebody said at some point in history. And, they can spread around on social media, and that company can decide whether to fire them or not, right? Because, like I said, they don't care necessarily what these Republicans and the conservatives really think. They assumed that probably more people would be outraged about the whole pedophile joke shit, so they preemptively just fired him, so then they couldn't be held accountable later and be like, why do you still have this guy working for you, right? So you know, they were doing it. They would have done it probably 10 years ago too if it got revealed the type of jokes that this guy was making, right? And I'm not a moralist. I'm not gonna say, oh, you can't make a joke about this, you can't make a joke about that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you work for this company, you're a representative of this company, and if you're doing that type of shit, it doesn't really look good for Disney. Right? It doesn't look good for Disney. It doesn't look good for these kid shows and stuff that you're working in when you're doing that type of humor, right? It doesn't matter if the right is getting all mad about it. Like they're going to get rid of them anyways, right? And typically what you do see is right-wing people do get mad about some other stuff, but it never has an impact. But when it has to do with pedophilia and stuff, it does have one. And for us to take the higher road is just stupid, or the higher road. I don't like the way people, you know, are phrasing that, because it seems it's kind of implying that we are doing exactly what they are doing, but we aren't. We really are not. Okay, like it's not the same thing. And doing that, assuming that, is just, you know, you're tying your hands behind your back in a fucking boxing match, and you're gonna get pummeled. You're gonna get fucking pummeled. And you know, they are gonna continue releasing information. They're continue trying to smear you with things you've said in here and now. Like, there are people that, if you have any type of sway politically, they are watching your shit like a hawk, going through each fucking word, and then, you know, spreading it around and saying, oh, he said this, oh my God, right? And then, you know, then they set up an image about you and make you out to be like a horrible person. But like, for example, the Trudeau groping scandal thing, right? That would have got no fucking coverage if it wasn't for social media and people spreading it around. What are we going to listen to? Fucking idiots like you that are going to say, oh, well, let's be the bigger man. You know, it's not a big deal and blah, that. Yeah, I don't think grabbing an ass is a big deal. But Trudeau specifically, you know, said anything is out of line. You know, he fired one of his cabinet ministers because he said something to a girl and she thought it was like offensive. Right? You know, he's like, oh, well, you're fired. But for him, you know, now he doesn't have to go by the same rules that he sets. No, that's bullshit. Okay? Like, that is clear hypocrisy. And for people just to overlook it speaks volumes about themselves and about their own values and how malleable they really are. They're like, well, I'm against rape. Unless I really like the person and he says what I like, you know, like that is what it is for a lot of people. I'm not saying that's exclusive to the left. There are people on the right like that too, right? And things can shift, and one day the right can kind of be like the left in some ways or whatever. But like, you know, they don't care as long as they say what they like, as long as they align with them politically, and they're coming out, oh, this is what they're saying about Trudeau too. This is just a political hit job. It's a schmear, and it's the timing of it. And, you know, people like, I saw the quartering videos. He's like, look, it's because all these people are anti-Trump. It's clearly politically motivated. Well, it's like, yeah, of course, you know, why not? These people are actively lying, like manipulating the public against you, against their own interest, against the interest of what a lot of these centrist type people are advocating themselves. They're like, okay, we need less immigration, we need less this, we need to talk about Muslim fucking jihadism and all this shit. But no, let's keep voting for this party that keeps fucking demonizing, and really let's keep putting them in power. Let's keep putting these people in power who want open borders and all that, because they're just saying that, you know, they don't really mean it, all this shit. I don't want to vote for a Republican or conservative, you know. It's just frustrating. And you know, I just see these fools, and I hope nobody takes them seriously. Nobody listens to them, because assuming that us doing this is going to have a real impact and it's gonna like make them do it more to us is dumb. They're already doing it at 100%. Like they're already going balls to the fucking wall. Okay, they're not gonna stop. And if they're creating this culture where, you know, feelings and, you know, matter so much and you can't say words that hurt and all this shit, like they're the ones that are creating this fucking culture. They're the ones that are making these companies jump the boat or whatever, like, you know, fire people immediately because they don't want the backlash that they fear from these crazy leftists. Because look what these leftists do. Like the NRA, the Parkland shooting, all that stuff. Like, how many companies did these people target? Like hundreds and hundreds, and like so many companies, and these kids all knew exactly which company. Like, they're being fed by Media Matters and these huge apparatuses from the left. They're telling them, hey, you know, boycott this specific company, boycott this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, right? But you don't have that on the right, and I don't want people to start massively boycotting shit like them either. Like, you know, using that tactic. Like, see, then that would be more going along their tactic. And I don't actually have an issue with people boycotting either, but it's more like, you know, if I have an issue with the product, I just stop buying it, right? And, you know, it doesn't have to be a massive political statement, but it's like, yeah, you know, fuck you. If you're supporting this and you have a problem with that company supporting that, I have no problem with you boycotting it and shit. But, you know, it's just, I guess the way it's done sometimes is just really systematic, and the reasons why people are being boycotted are, you know, stupid. And nobody's even boycotting anything. Like the conservatives right now with this whole movie shit, with James Gunn, all these pedophile jokes, like nobody's even fucking boycotting anything. And like I said, Hollywood doesn't care about the right-wing boycotts about stuff. They don't care about right-wing outrage because they deliberately make movies to put them down or to smear them. You're like, look how Christianity is portrayed in any of the movies that you've watched pretty much recently, or a lot of TV shows. They're not very good, right? You know, not usually the best light, because, you know, they are against conservatives. They are against the right. And not using social media to our advantage is dumb. And we need to use it. This is an asset that we have not had before. Before, it was only the media that was able to dig up history and to, you know, show the whole public, you know, be like, oh, look at this person. And then they would keep all of the secrets of their side hidden. But now, because of social media, we can expose it all. And you know what? The truth will set us free. Show all of my tweets, all of my things, go on all of my history, find whatever the fuck, you know, I'm saying, don't try to dox me, but I'm saying, like, go look at the old statements I've made. If I've said something that I disagree with now, you know, I'll live by it, right? You know, stop being fucking bitches and pussies, right? Like, you know, live by it. And if you said some despicable shit, you're gonna have to fucking live by it, okay? And, you know, we're lucky nowadays, and not lucky in a sense, with social media. Like, maybe people would say or saying and do things they would normally do in public, but back in the day, if you said something in public pretty crazy, it's not like you go delete it and erase it from people's minds. No, the whole town would hear about it, and everybody in the other towns would hear because of gossip and shit. So it's like, you know, it's better to be honest. And if you're putting shit on a fucking public platform that anybody can type in your name and look on your shit easily, then, you know, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, if somebody on the right gets fired because they say, like, the N-word a bunch, and then the company's like, okay, I don't really want to be associated with that. We don't want to put that image forward, and they fire them. Like, okay, right? We get it. Don't be a fucking retard on social media. If you want to do these type of pedophile jokes, do them for your friends, or do them, you know, to your executive buddies or something. But doing it on Twitter may not be the best idea. Like, you gotta be good, really a funny comedian to really pull off a lot of these pedophile jokes, right? Like Anthony Jeselnik, I saw some people bringing up some of his old tweets, but that's not gonna work with him because he is actually like that is his shtick, like that is his type of humor, and it's not going to affect him. But these people that and he isn't a part of the outrage mob when it does happen. But James Gunn, Michael Ian Black, Dan Harmon, they're all a part of it. So yes, fuck these guys, make them live by their own standards. And like I said, it's not going to be a massive backlash, and it's not going to do anything bad for the right, because it's the left has been doing this, and they're never going to stop. They're never going to, well, maybe we should just, battle with the ideas, and we'll have a battle of the ideas in the public. No, they will never do that, because they know they've lost the battle of the battle of ideas. They know that they can't hold up to scrutiny. So the only method they have left is stuff like this. It's smearing people and stuff, right? And, this isn't smearing them. Bringing up old tweets, revealing what they said. But the media does way worse than that. They do way worse than just bringing up old fucking statements. They take things out of context. They fucking edit videos, like the stuff. Or there's tons of like revisionist history and stuff, like just the way that the media frames stuff all the time. There's so much more deception involved in that than revealing some shit. So, all these people getting mad right now, they're just mad. A lot of the more centrist people like Quartering and stuff, they're mad because they really like the Guardian of the Galaxy movies, or they really like Rick and Morty. They really like these people, and they're like, oh, my movie, you're ruining my movie. Like that's the real only selfish reason that they're caring about it. And like I said, I'm not trying to get this guy fired or anybody else for making stupid jokes. I don't care. I'm not a moralist. Make as many dumb jokes, as many horrible, disgusting ones that you want. But ultimately, it's up to your company to fire you. It's not because of right-wingers, the mob from the right that got them fired. It was the company and the company's decision. And like I said, Hollywood doesn't care what conservatives think. So it wasn't because of them. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.